This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
Welcome back to Ivy Unleashed. You are listening to the final episode of season 3.
Wow.
So surreal.
Wow.
3 seasons in, baby.
Yes, which I feel like this time I feel like we've been doing this a lifetime. Like it feels like this is what we do, and I am so excited for season 4 already. And we had a lot of episodes this season. Like we did our first 6 months of the year was 2 episodes a week.
We really knocked them out. And it was awesome. And I'm so grateful you're not sick of me yet. We are about to drive to Oklahoma for Andrea's 25th marathon. We were just in Dallas for Jen Gottlieb's event, Build Your Brand. Her book launches today, so everyone go grab it, be seen. Such an amazing event we'll get into, but that was a lot of time together. And I love you more.
I know. I was like, when we were talking with people, we're like, we do everything together. Nope, we'll be together. Yep, we're going to share a room. Yep, nope, we're going to go to the gym together. And we'll walk every morning together because I'm still doing 75 hard. And so we were up in the dark, walking through Dallas's streets. There was some homeless people everywhere. And I was like, you know what? These homeless people are very smart because it's warm.
Yeah.
Not that it's cozy to sleep on a bench, but like here in Minnesota, people that are homeless, it's like, oh, it's brutal here.
There were some bulls. I rode some bulls. There were some big statues of bulls. We didn't get outside a whole lot. We were kind of locked inside. Felt like we were on a different planet. The idea of getting in the rooms with people that you want to be.
I feel like we found our planet.
Literally. Sorry, Earth.
It was so, like, the energy in the room was palpable, and the people that were in there were the type of people that know that human connection is crucial to us being seen and heard and making others feel that way, because that's just the key to life. And tapping into what makes you tick and sharing it, and then hearing what makes other people tick and seeing how you can help them or the connections you have. I mean, we all want to help. And we all want to chase the thing and create a business out of what we love. And so to be in a room with all the people that are doing exactly that, with the leaders of the room and the speakers of the room, having the depth, it's not just about making money. It's not just about business. It was about making an impact, using your story, using your voice to create change in the world in a way that is tangible with money, yes, but then using that money to do exactly what is on your heart.
Oh, I have like full body chills as you're talking, as I think about it, because it's the one thing I loved, I don't know most, but a lot, was that there was no competition.
No.
There was people from all different industries, but a lot in the health and wellness industry. And it was, how can I help? How can I help you make a bigger impact? It was people there that know they have something to share, something to give, and it's their responsibility to help, and doing it in a way where they don't feel alone and their voice is amplified and their reach is amplified. We learned all about building your brand. We learned about AI. Like, it was a lot of business tactics, but it was also the spirituality and the being aligned in your work. Like, we met and we heard Gabby Bernstein and Lori Harder, and these 2 powerhouse women, along with Jen Gottlieb, who we look up to so much because they're making good money, but they're doing it in a way that, like, they're helping people at their core. We got to experience that live, which was super magical.
And just to make it even more accessible if you weren't there, which majority of people listening weren't at this event, is that when you feel like you can be you, when you feel like the room you're in wants the best for you and they're excited about what you're going to say, you have the courage to speak. Like, Brooke and I got on these stages in front of these multi-millionaires that have been like in business decades longer than us. But we felt confident that we mattered and that everyone that's tapping into their purpose should be on a stage and talking about it, because nothing feels better than knowing who you are, that you're in a room of people that want you to be successful, because if you succeed, I succeed. And if I succeed, you succeed. Like, that kind of environment should be every room that you're in. It should be with your friends, with your family, the people that you're around, if you feel like they don't want what's best for you, you are in the wrong room, or you need big boundaries around your time in that room, you know, and, or energy boundaries for yourself when you know, sometimes you have to be around people, whether it's at work that really suck your energy, or family, or sometimes, you know, friends of friends. It's really creating that environment and allowing yourself to enter more of those rooms that make you feel that way.
Yeah. And as you're speaking, you said energy. And that's something that we heard the entire weekend. We met the DJ Shoebox.
DJ Sammy.
Oh my gosh. So he was left in a shoebox in the Philippines when he was little. And he has this amazing story. And he was so fun and we bonded with him. But he was the DJ. So Andrea and I are dancing. And everyone the whole weekend just kept commenting on your energy, your energy. And it was kind of this aha moment for us of it's everything we do comes back to energy. The people we serve, it's so that they have more energy to live the life that they want to. And the importance of these rooms and these environments that Andrea's talking about, not everyone has access to those rooms, but we can bring the room to you. And that's what we're doing with our Move community. That's what we're doing with this podcast. It's what, when I was at my deepest, darkest point, I just wanted energy. It's what I struggled with the most. It's what Andrea brings to the room. And so we have this new, I don't know, fire within us of, okay, our energy matters, and it matters how you show up and how you serve your community. And so for all of you listening, you can hold us accountable to bringing the energy and helping you feel that energy and unlock it within yourself. And that's what this event did for us. And now we want to pay it forward with our community and those that we serve.
Yeah. And as like business people, you know, sometimes we share what we do in business and what we're trying to do. And what Brooke's saying is we are finding new, more efficient, tangible ways to bring it to you. So like within our Move community, we're implementing some new services, whether it's our group coaching we're having with Move, so you have access to our energy. At least once a month, we're having group coaching sessions. And then we're also having these new sessions called the Golden Hour with guests from Ivy Unleashed. So we want to talk about our favorite episodes of the season. But if you are a Move member now, you monthly are going to get to vote on who's going to come and have a golden hour. And you are going to have face-to-face access to these guests where you can ask them questions. You can hear directly from them. And it will be more of a personal approach, because that's also going to help with your energy. Like the people that you want to hear from on a personal level, that you can ask a question, like that is going to tap into what you need in your life so that you can cultivate the energy to help you move forward. So whether it's hormones or your mental health or someone's story, or you want to hear more about how someone does something as a parent, or you name it, we're going to let you as a Move member vote on the guest and talk to them.
Yeah. And we're so excited about this because this is what's transformed our lives. Like we get to meet, to record with these people. We get in a way a different view on them and energy and perspective. And so to bring that to our Move members, it's going to be life-changing. Like listening to this podcast is one thing, but having one-on-one access to these experts, incredible. So incredible. And Golden Hour, you know, I think about Jessie Golden. And that was one of my favorite episodes because she's just golden. She's magical. Her presence, what she has done with her life, what she's created.
Majestic. She's like a unicorn.
Yeah. I feel like her and Jen Gottlieb, if they had a baby, it's me.
Oh my God, it is.
But I love what they offer so much. And then favorite episodes here, not favorite, but ones that based on where I'm at my journey right now and what I want to do in the world really spoke to me and helped me elevate my confidence and my energy. And so Jessie Golden, episode 108, if you have not listened, just watch on YouTube. You're going to want to see her beauty, and she's just an angel. And then we've got Jen Gottlieb, who just aired this Monday, episode 177, all about building your brand and your confidence and your story and why it is your responsibility to be seen. Loved that. And then Dr. Kate, I know we shared this one, 152. I think she's got to be in the mix too of if she was my mom, if they had a baby. I love my mom, don't get me wrong, but these women, they show me what's possible. And Dr. Kate with healing the body and the energy and regulating your nervous system. And that's what Jessie Golden talks about too.
Yeah. I think why those three are so powerful is because they know what is transformative and they are not afraid to share it, no matter how against the grain it might be. Like Jessie Golden does some weird shit. So does Dr. Kate.
So does Brooke.
Exactly.
You guys.
But they're not like afraid to talk about it.
Yes. I probably talked to 4 people at this event who within the first 5 minutes, we were talking about coffee enemas. I found my people. I was talking to Shoebox, DJ Sammy, and he was saying the first time I did one, the clarity I had, and I said, it's the closest I've ever been to Christ. And we got the giggles and we were laughing, and it just, the things that make you feel good are what make you you and make other people attracted to you and they want to learn from you. And so gone are the days that I'm embarrassed about putting coffee up my butt. I kept saying, like, you drink coffee for energy. I put it up my butt for energy. And it was just like, you can just laugh and giggle. And it's these really life-changing, important things, but not taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
Having fun with it.
Yeah. My favorite episodes all, I'm looking at the theme of what they are, and they are all really powerful stories that people aren't afraid to get vulnerable. Like, it makes me emotional to even think that we had Kevin Hines on the podcast to talk about jumping off, like being suicidal, like the feelings and the thoughts that he had going there, knowing like so many people on a regular basis have had these feelings, and the fact that he took action and lived and is here to talk about it, and that he still struggles and he's still talking about it. Like my friend Lindsay Roberts getting on and talking about divorce, something that nobody even knew she was going through, and it blew up. Like, Lindsay doesn't have a bunch of followers. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what matters is that she was authentically saying what she struggled with and what's going well, even if it's not socially acceptable, and that divorce can look completely different than everybody's expectations. And it doesn't need to be a contest, and it doesn't need to be talking poorly about other people. And then Julie Schmid, your cousin and our family member, talking about her experience with losing her husband and being a caretaker. I just think these 3 stories are so vulnerable. And the fact that we got to sit with someone going through those deep, dark moments of their life that we all can relate to, it's so powerful. And it just makes me feel like, what a gift that I get to sit here and then ask the questions that I feel like our listeners are wondering, and being courageous to ask the questions sometimes that aren't always easy to answer, but that these guests are like, of course you're asking that. Like, yeah, let's talk about it. Like, it's so brave and it's so beautiful that they're allowing us to elevate their story so others can learn and grow and get through really hard stuff.
Yeah, asking for help and the importance of accepting help. Like, I think about Lindsay working with Catherine and the transformation she had, and Kevin Hines, when you kind of surrender. My story included of like, I can't do this alone. Like, help. I need help. And showing up and sharing your story gives other people the permission to seek the help that they need and to normalize it in a way of course you're feeling this way. Something terrible happened, but you don't have to stay stuck. And here are the resources to get you through. And there's a reason that the personal stories that we share on this podcast do so well, because that's the type of gold that the people need. They need to know the resources and what really helped them get through so they didn't have to stay stuck.
Yeah. And something I saw like growth in myself at this experience of Build Your Brand Live was that we had people coming up to us to be on the podcast. They're like, I love your energy. I want to be a part of what you're doing. And it felt wonderful. But I turned it into like, yeah, you can talk about being an expert at parenting, or you can talk about natural healing remedies, but actually I want you to be more vulnerable. Like, do you have a story to share that first our audience can understand something you've been through? Because they can Google these tips to be like, figure out how to sleep better or manage stress better. But if they can have your story and how you got to here, that is way more transformative. And a lot of people are like, oh, for sure. Yeah, well, I could talk about this, this, or this. I'm like, oh my God, that is way more intriguing than how you just pitched yourself, because the story is like, we can all see ourselves in them,
Well, and for a majority of them, that's what got them to do the work they do today. Mm-hmm. And so when you can speak to that, there's a different level of, oh, okay, like she's got a fire, he's got a fire within him that is transforming people. Mm-hmm. I want some of that.
Yeah. And I just encourage you all to think about like what you've been through, right? And whether you've started a journey with therapy or journaling, or you're just starting to like think about, wow, like I've been through some shit, or I'm in the middle of it. Like I'm going through it. I'm grieving. I'm struggling. I've got family in Israel. I'm struggling because I need to set boundaries and I don't know how to do this and it's messy. Whatever you're in, like this struggle is going to propel you into something beautiful. I need you to trust that, but also know that it can also become something that puts money in your pocket, or you write a book about it, or you start a blog about it, or you change the dynamic of your family. Like sometimes when you're a trailblazer and you have this, I've got to set some boundaries, or I'm in the middle of grief and I figured out a way to be okay. Like that can really help people. Mm-hmm. That can change the trajectory of a family's kind of tradition, or create some healing that you didn't even know was possible. And so wherever you're at, whether this is a business thing or a personal thing, I just encourage you to think about like, what are my hardships? And, you know, what beautiful gift may this give me, or has it given me? Or how do I keep needing to pour into myself so I can get there, so I can take the next step and be okay tomorrow?
Yeah. I think about at the event when I was sharing my story, I kept saying, the only way to make sense of what I went through is to use it to help other people. Like I feel this calling to get on stage and to share my story, and it feels so heavy. Mm-hmm. And I just watched this sermon that was from a pastor that Jennifer, who we met at the event, she sent to me. She's like, I feel like this is really what you need right now. And it was titled The Other Side of Hiding. Ooh. And it was how God puts you in a season of hiding to teach you something and to prepare you. And when he says it's time to stop hiding, it's this weight of influence and how people chase fame, but like, is that really what you want? Because, you know, these actors, they have this fame and they have the movie and then what? But you have this gift and this influence and you have to do something with it. And something Eric Thomas always says, the hip hop preacher, is get a reward from your pain. Get a reward from your pain. And as I'm reflecting on this, I think about when we started this podcast, it was to share what we were learning. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what was going on with my gut health. Like I was depressed. I hated how I felt, but I still felt called to serve. And it was by like, I get emotional, but starting this podcast that we had Emily Field on, and she recommended a functional nutritionist who did a GI map test, who found the parasites and led to all these stepping stones of my own healing. And if I wouldn't have answered that call to serve, to share when I was still not healed, I was still struggling, but I had learned enough that I could gather information to share. Mm-hmm. And so even, this is something I'm learning, even if you don't feel like you have all the answers, like you never will. Mm-hmm. And someone is going to gain answers and help from you sharing where you're at right now and what's gotten you to this point. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening and there is something you've gone through or you're going through it, but you feel like you got a little something to share, like put that on social media. Like that's what social media needs. Mm-hmm. It needs light. It needs hope. It needs you stepping up to say, okay, even if I can help my neighbor, like how can I serve?
It doesn't need to be this picture perfect thing. Like that's not helpful.
No.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I curate the moments of the apple orchard, and I'm not putting in a meltdown, you know, so guilty as charged too, that, you know, what am I going to put on here? Like take a video of me and my husband are fighting and put it on social media? No, but you can tell your story in a way that
you're sharing the lessons.
Yeah. Or if maybe it's just a video on your phone that you keep until you're ready to share, and you don't know what that would look like in the future, but you know, you're in the midst of something, of some type of growth, and you can watch it back yourself, or your kids can watch it back, or whatever it may be. But we just want to get you thinking about like your story. It matters. Mm-hmm. What you're going through it's this beautiful, painful, ride. We're all on it. And like Brooke's saying, like, I mean, I could go through this myself too, but I'm just thinking of, okay, you went through your gut health journey, but then you're also, talking on our podcast about your relationship with your dad and how you hadn't talked to him in a decade. And then you sat down and you forgave him and you talked about that in an episode. Like the fact that our audience is on this ride with us, like we're just so grateful. It's very vulnerable and it's a pivotal time in our life of growth. And, when I started this, I had a 2-year-old and now I have a 5-year-old, and my other kids that were, whatever ages they were too, but it's hard to keep track. But it's, we're growing and learning and that's never going to change. We're never going to have the perfect advice, but we do want to bring you the people that are authentic and that have something to share. And if that's you, let us know. If you want to come talk to us about your journey of growth, or maybe you start documenting it so that one day you can share, you feel ready to share, we will be here. And speaking of hard things, I wanted to address the fact that if you have been here for the duration of Ivy Unleashed, that on episode 79, we had Dale DeSteno on. If you follow us on social media, you probably saw that we have been grieving our good friend. So Dale had stage 4 lung cancer and he fought so hard. And once he had to lean on any type of machine, his body stopped working because he had the biggest will to live. And the second that he had to rest because his oxygen levels were so low, a machine could not keep up with the will that Dale had to live. So it wasn't that he lost. He just tried to take a rest. And he fought so hard. And now Dale is no longer on the planet. We know he's here in spirit. And so we wanted to let you know, in case you didn't know, or you wanted to go back and listen to his journey of him saying, I wish I would have lived more boldly. I wish I would have taken more risks. I wish I would have trusted that what's the worst that's going to happen if I take this risk? Like what is the worst that really could happen? Like nothing bad is going to happen if you decide to chase a dream. Like maybe it'll be some things you don't know, but at least you tried.
Yeah.
And it was even in the messages that he left for his children that they said at the funeral that he said, be bold and take risks. Like, he had one life and he packed a lot of life into, I think he was 46 years. And so just wanted to give you that update that, that episode is so special to us now to go back and listen to. And I created a video for his family that kind of peppered in some of the clips from that, because it's always nice to hear those loved ones' voices. And so if Dale was your friend, if you ever want to go back and listen, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to 79 and hear his story.
Yeah, it's a good perspective shift too. If you're having a rough day, listen to that episode because he talks about don't wait. Don't wait for the diagnosis. We don't know how much time we have. And that's what gets me through is like, there is an end point. Like, how much can I pack in this time that I know I only have today? And we forget about that because the stressors of life and finances and all of the things. And so to have that reminder and to have that visible, whether it's on your desk or every night before you go to bed, you're thankful and grateful of the day. And then the next morning, okay, I have another opportunity. And it sounds so cliche, but when you're fighting with time, and we all are.
Oh, I ran into Dale at my mailbox about 6 weeks before he passed, and he was waiting on a medication. And Dale did a really good job of hiding if he was struggling because he wanted everybody to not be worried about him, and he wanted to keep living his life, right? And I think too, not just packing in what you want, but thinking about resting and rejuvenation and fun so that you can enjoy what you really want to do, right? He did a good job of that too. But I saw him and he didn't look very good, and I had never seen him not looking good. He looked thin and he looked tired, and he said, I feel like I'm living on borrowed time. I need my medication. I need something to work. And the panic in his voice was it just was so palpable that he knew his days were numbered. And all of ours are. There is a number left. And I don't want to freak you out, but I do want you to think about, what do I want in that dash from the year I was born to the year that's on that gravestone? What does that dash mean for me? What is going to be in there? How much love can I pour into myself so I can give it to others? What do I want to do that makes me laugh and feel blissful and feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I listened to my dream, but I'm doing it. Like, I know I'm living that now. And I got to say, sometimes it comes with a price, right? Like sometimes people struggle seeing you like tap into who you are because they have to grieve. Oh my God, my friend was this version and now they're this version, and you kind of lose something, but it can also change into something beautiful. And so face that fear. It's worth it. Dale would say it too, that this time is your time. It is your time to fit in what you know you want to be putting some attention towards.
And sometimes we don't know because it's so loud. We don't take the time to listen. And when I think about Dale and how he lived, like he was so in alignment. He had fun. He had friends. He was doing important work. He was making people feel good. And he also took the time to care about how he felt and pour into him. And that's why we preach, if you don't feel good, if you don't have the energy, it doesn't matter. And so take the time to pour into you, whatever that looks like. Is it journaling? Is it reflecting? Is it visualizing? Is it working out? Like, you know what you need to feel good. You just have to have boundaries around it. View it as important as it is.
Change it up. Take a second to change it up. Okay, what I'm doing, it's not working. I need to get more sleep. I need a little bit of quiet time. Man, I feel like I have so much to do. But let me pause for 30 minutes in the morning to figure out what I want this time to look like, how I want to feel, how I can be more aligned with me and my family, and what really matters. Mm-hmm. That listening, it is crucial. It's like, yeah, if you don't know, I mean, something's probably been calling it. You probably get these signs, right? But once you can slow down and be more clear, like I've got a ton of clarity. Like I haven't been drinking for over a month. I've gotten lots of good sleep. I've been exercising a lot. Like the clarity that comes when you take good care of yourself, like you see things fall into place. You see the signs, you hear God, like you hear yourself. There's no way around it with this clarity of, I know exactly what needs attention. And sometimes I can't always get to those things, but I can take a step back to plan a little bit more ahead, to talk with someone about what I need, to take the time.
Yeah, and it's such a good time. It's November. It's about to be. We're recording on Halloween. Mm-hmm. And so we have, 2 months to really think about, okay, what do I need to shift? What worked really, really well for me in 2023 that I got clarity on, that I knew made me feel good? Was it taking the vacation? Was it putting the phone away before bed? Whatever it is, gain clarity on that. And then you think about, okay, 2024, what do I want more of? Mm-hmm. Because we know New Year's resolutions don't work. So what do we need to do differently? And so think about that. Is it you write yourself a letter that you read at the end of 2024, and in that letter you put all of the things that you spent your time, your energy on, what you created, how you lived in alignment? Maybe it's taking a step back and deciding, what does being in alignment even look like for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something I keep hearing, and it's exactly what you're saying, is that future self, whether it's your 80-year-old self, your 60-year-old self, however far out you want to go, write a letter to that person or have that person write a letter to you. Because we hear advice better. Alex Hormozi taught me this. We hear advice better when it's to someone else. So you're not writing to yourself. Maybe you're writing to the 80-year-old version of someone else that you're like, oh, here's some advice, or this is what I'm happy that I did, if you want to do it in reverse order. But really thinking about, what do I want to look back on and be really happy that I spent some time doing? And get excited. Like, what gets you so, like, I am pumped for 2024. I just know it's going to be a kick-ass year that, like, my body's even tweaking it. I've been telling Brooke I have this, like, eye twitch because we're stepping into this new version of ourselves because we know our value. We are stepping into it, and we are trying to light up this world even more with it. And so when you know what your value is, when you know what you want to be doing, and you start doing it, it's very exciting. So write down the things you're excited about too, not just like, I know I need to clean my house better. Like, what is it that gets you in that state of bliss? What do you want to be putting in the calendar and doing, or work towards doing? Because it's going to make you truly fulfilled.
Bliss. Ed Milet just had an episode on bliss, and it was so good. So definitely recommend you all go listen. But I think about bliss because I think about when we were at the event, like that's what we felt. We were high on life. We weren't judging ourselves for what we were doing. We weren't worried about being that person. We just showed up and we kept telling ourselves, just trust the people we met, the connections we made by just focusing on the vibration that we were in. It is so powerful. And that's what life is about, is having that bliss, being in that vibration where you're grateful, you're content, you're at peace. And that is something that we have the ability to create.
Yeah. And you're yourself, like unapologetically yourself. When we were like, Brooke and I started so many dance parties because we're like sitting so long and we just know the value. Like we do corporate events where we get people moving because it's important and it helps big time for information retention and pains and aches from sitting, all the things. We would just start dancing. Nobody's on the dance floor. Brooke and I were like, we're getting on the dance floor. We started dance parties of all kinds and sizes. Jen Gottlieb even came out and joined us for a few dance parties. It was so much fun. And so when you're yourself, your true self, you may lose certain friendships, but the ones that really will celebrate who you are and make you feel the way that Brooke and I felt in that room are the ones that are going to stick around and root for you. And so we just want to encourage you to kick some serious ass the rest of this year. Get excited about 2024. We have a lineup already through July of fire guests. They just keep coming. So get excited and stay tuning in with, our social platforms. We are not going anywhere we'll keep lighting up YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And please check out Move. Now more than ever, the prices are as low as they're going to be, and we're never going to stop adding value, which does come with a price. So get into Move now so that you can have access to us even when we are in a break with Ivy Unleashed.
Yeah, it's that energy. Energy is everything. And like Jen says, life gets lifey. We forget that it's important to check our vibration, that we need to be in these rooms and to make it as easy as possible for you to take care of yourself, for you to have the energy, for you to feel on fire. That is our mission. And the only thing you need to do is be in the room, be in the community. So we'll put the link in the show notes. Like Andrea said, it's the lowest price it's ever going to be. Oh, we are so excited for you to join. It's going to be amazing. It already is. So check it out and let us know what questions you have. We're always available. And this is created for you. So get your butt in the room.
All right, last 3 gold stars of season 3. Oh my gosh. Number 1, write down the number 1 feeling you want to cultivate from now until the end of the year.
You want to know what mine is?
What?
Alignment.
Ooh.
Because when I think about alignment, I think the energy naturally comes. And so am I in alignment? Am I doing what makes me feel good and fun? When I'm in alignment, things are fun.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to live my life.
Mine's kind of like that. Mine would be clarity because I just keep getting more and more clear. And like the more clear I get, the more energy I get. The more clear I get, like the more thoughtful I am because I know what I want to, I'm clear on how I want to be a mom when my kids walk through the door. I'm clear on when I wake up in the morning what I want to be doing. Like
you're clear on alignment.
Yes. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's powerful. Because that fuzziness, that fogginess we live through, like autopilot, just doing what everybody thinks we should be doing. We're just like behind, like, no, thank you.
She gonna stay a sober queen with me. Okay, number 2, list 3 things that help you achieve that feeling. So is that time with family? Is it quiet morning time, daily workouts? What is that for you?
And 3, write an end of 2024 letter to yourself. What do you want to achieve? How do you want to be spending your time? And what will 2024 help you experience?
Thank you, everyone who's tuned in week after week, who is sharing with your friends. Please continue to share so we can add even more light to this world that needs it so badly. Because of you, this world is better, and we're so grateful for you. We can't wait to see you season 4. We know we'll be connected, social media, and in our community. So don't wait to get access to us. But a big thank you to you. We love you. And season 3, that's a wrap.
I also want to say thank you to our guests, like all of the guests we've had on all 3 seasons so far. This would not be what it is without that truth coming out, you tapping into, being courageously you and sharing your message, which you know is important. So we want to say thank you to our guests. And season 3, that's a wrap. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for season 4. And let's wrap this one up with a piece of gold.
Yes, keep unleashing your truth, ladies and gents.
Yes.
This episode's piece of gold, last but not least, comes from one of our faves, Elizabeth Gilbert. She says, do whatever brings you to life then. Follow your own fascinations, obsessions, and compulsions. Trust them. Create whatever causes a revolution in your heart. The rest will take care of itself.
This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.